Hey everybody! Miss me? Probably not. Anyway, just a few seconds ago, I just made a video about Black History Month, and I said I was going to bring something else up, and so I'm doing that now. Alright, basically, all I wanted to say was I'm really tired of hearing people say things like Malcolm X, oh, well, he shouldn't be celebrated. He was just a racist and a what do you call it? Not a ration. No, hold on. Ugh. When you're really like, what's that word for? Ugh. Well, anyway, he was just a racist, and he was no good, and he's not someone to be celebrated because he was violent and he was a. I really wish I knew what word I was trying to say because that word fits perfectly into what I was trying to say, but anyway, I hate hearing that because it's so radical. He was like a radical. No, but anyway, that's what I was trying to say. But I hate hearing that because it's not fair. Okay, so yeah, when Malcolm X first started out, like uh, doing the protest and preaching, sort of, and giving speeches, he talked more on the side of hatred um for whites, and that's something, yeah, that I don't agree with, that you don't agree with. But I mean, all right, so yeah, when he first started off, yeah, it was pretty, he wouldn't be someone that I would look up to as far as his views, as far as those views go. But on the same line of that, he still, it's not like he was saying, oh, go out and shoot every white person you see. It was still more of a eye for an eye thing, not a, oh, just go kill some people type thing, which is what people make it sound like he was just up for murdering people for no reason. Murder. There's never a reason to murder someone. So yeah, murder. That wasn't the case. He never advocated. I don't look. Maybe I need to go back and do some more research, but I don't think he ever advocated just pointlessly out there just killing people. And but okay. But I could understand if you just you didn't like him because his views were definitely at first more on the racist side when he was under the teachings of the Nation of Islam and their leader, Mr. Muhammad. Okay. However, that's not fair because if you just say that's why you don't like him because his teachings were racist and he had racist views and da 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 da, so you've closed the book now. You closed the book where you got angry and that's it. That's why you don't like him. But see, that's not fair because it's not accurate anymore. You can't stop talking about someone in the middle of their lives and, oh, well, that's how they felt then. What about how he felt later on? Oh, gee, you didn't research that. You didn't care to hear about that. You didn't think about that. The thing is, Malcolm X didn't die. Didn't his last thoughts weren't his last speeches weren't racist. I need to find that letter. He wrote a letter to like his followers or whatever, but I don't know where it is. Right? I mean, it's on the internet, but I didn't find it. But the point is, yeah, okay, he was under the teachings of Elijah Muhammad and he taught the way that he had felt then. And then he took his trip to the Mecca. And, because every Muslim's I ideally should visit the Mecca at some point in their life. Of course, everyone doesn't have the resources and a way to get there. But at least from what I learned in history class, every Muslim idea idea is to visit the Mecca at least once. So he did that in Israel. I think it's Israel. I could be wrong. Sorry if I am. No offense. But anyway, so he went to the Mecca and he prayed with people of all sorts: blue eyes, blonde hair, brown eyes, dark skin, fair skin, in between, in the middle. Everyone prayed together because they all believed in the same thing, and it didn't matter what color they were. And he realized that, and he realized he had been wrong. you can change your feelings. You can have a uh-oh moment and change the way you feel. And he had that uh-oh moment and saw, wow, well, see, I'm on the wrong page. So flew back to America, and he changed his name to Malik al-Shabazz for his Muslim name. But anyway, point is, he flew back to America, and he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to his followers. I don't really remember where he sent the letter out to, but it basically said, in more or less words, that what he had been teaching was not the right way. He realizes that you do not have to hate our brothers and sisters that look different from us, the white people, or well, yeah, no, probably mostly white people he was talking about. It's wrong to hate them. And basically, he was on the whole page of judge not by the color of skin, content of the character, and those are Martin Luther King's words, but it's the idea he ended up with. Still not completely nonviolent person. I'm guessing he didn't change those views because, well, he didn't, and I mean, a lot of people don't have those same views as, say, Brother Martin did, but he did know, and he did feel differently about his stance on race. So he spoke differently, which is what separated him from the Nation of Islam. And that was the end of that. He wasn't even a part of that anymore. And he spoke differently. He didn't speak about hatred towards white people. He spoke just about, empowerment in the community, and it wasn't about what he had been speaking about because he had changed his mind. He changed his ways, and so I'm so sick of hearing people walk around calling him a racist. You can't just do that. You can't just say, oh, he's a racist. Well, you know what? He wasn't when he died. Well, I didn't hear that part. Well, it exists. So, I mean, stop. It's not fair. It's not fair to his legacy. It's not fair to his family. It's because it's not even true. It's not true. He's not a racist. He's dead, so he's not. He did not die a racist, and that is not fair. It's just not fair. If a person takes the time to change themselves, to truly change themselves, it should be acknowledged. And to just call Malcolm X a racist radical is like calling Jim Jones, it's like just calling Jim Jones a preacher and a civil rights activist. Because, yeah, when Jim Jones started out, he had some great ideas, and he was all about brotherhood and unity and this and that, and he was a preacher and, oh, God. But how did that story end, huh? How did that story end? If you can just close the book in the middle, then people will start walking around with Jim Jones t-shirts talking about, I believe in the dream. Jim Jones, great preacher, great activist. The story doesn't end too well now, does it? He didn't die just a preacher, an activist. He died one time. He died a preacher and a terrorist. He died a preacher and the leader of a mass suicide murder cult. Leader, I'm not saying words right, but the point is, you can't just close the book in the middle. That's like saying, who else started off good and then ended bad, or started off bad and ended good? That's like just saying, oh, well, no, you can't prove he did it, so I guess it's not fair. Won't bring up OJ. Who's in jail? Hold on. Phil Spector's in jail for murder, right? Yeah, so that's like saying Phil Spector's just a musician. He's a musician, a composer, producer. And he's good at it. But if you're gonna celebrate him as a person, so you can celebrate him as a musician, but if you're gonna celebrate him as a person, that's different. And that really wasn't a good analogy because, like I said, that's different. Whatever. Jim Jones was the best analogy. That's like saying Jim Jones was just a great leader who then led 900 people to their deaths. So you cannot just close the book wherever you feel like it. It doesn't work that way. So just saying Malcolm X was a racist is wrong because he didn't die a racist. That's not how the story ended, and it's just not fair. Basically, I guess the point I'm trying to make is if someone takes the time and the effort and truly wants to change themselves and truly makes a difference in the way they have been thinking, the way they have been acting, then it's worth paying attention to. can't just say that's what he was, don't like him, don't write about him, don't speak of him. Because people were acting like he was some terrorist. And even before he had changed his views to accepting people of all colors, he still wasn't this kind of terrorist you seem to make him out to be. And and people, see, that's what I really don't like. People say one thing and they already don't know enough about what they're talking about, and then people snowball off of that. People don't go and read for themselves. People don't go and look at things for themselves. They hear what other people take, and then they snowball off of that. And so even if you were just little Timmy, and one time he threw a ball and hit a window, but but little Sally went and told the story. Then the next person who doesn't even know you just knows you threw the ball through the window, and then they're gonna take that and they're gonna add something to it, and they're gonna take that and by the time you get to the end of the line, they don't know you, but they know you threw a ball through a window and something about that or whatever, and now you're just this horrible person that they don't even know. They've never talked to you, they didn't research you, they didn't look at you, they didn't see the ball thrown, da da da. All I'm saying is before you just label people and say that people are this or that, at least decide for yourself. Go and look at some information and then decide for yourself. But this isn't even decidable. He wrote a letter saying that he had changed his ways. I'm gonna find that letter and send a link and put a link to it later. But he's not a racist. Stop calling him a racist. It's not fair. It just is not fair. All right, cool. So, enjoy your day, and I will enjoy mine. All right, and please just, I don't know, keep an open mind. Maybe, maybe. All right.